I was really tempted to say, I'm sure you can, when you said I can count.
Yes, the homie Pierce. Okay.
To what? There's probably something built into the way the move functions.
Yeah, I think
It might have a minus, and he has style points in it to make it go higher.
yes. So
yeah.
one of the pluses is from your hand wraps. Another one is just from style points, and then the move has a natural -1.
So basically, you're not getting any minus technically. It's being cancelled out by the style point. Alright.
Okie dokie. So, last time there was a lot that happened. I believe we left off with getting everybody on shore from the quest that you went on, which was the ship emergency. And you had successfully prevented the one ship from being completely destroyed and pillaged. It was only mostly pillaged by hungry old doors. Yes, old doors. And you'd gotten onto shore after talking to some people on the boat. Some guy named Guy, and some helpful people. And then Starsha and Magellan met with Jaturk and his half-elf friend named Percy to get some information on Priscilla and Big Black Betty. Or otherwise known as the two large creatures that had harassed the two boats that were transporting goods down through the Qual'd River. And I think it was Marliana and... No, wait. Yeah, Marliana and Magellan met with somebody who claimed to be a reporter. And they also got his business card after talking with him. So...
I think it was Brian something.
It should have been Brian
Yeah,
Vaughn.
you got his card, right?
And the card only came with a number for contact. It does not come with an address. So, you will not be able to visit them in person unless you contact them via phone. Or, not phone. The transceiver devices that are in this world.
It's this world's phones.
This world's phones. I forget what they're called. And after Starsha and Magellan met with Jaturk after Magellan and Marliana got questioned by the reporter, Starsha and Magellan went off to the Altel District to go possibly sell some monster parts and go see what's what.
It was to find a place. I think it was to find. We were going to check out the fluffy.
The
bar.
fluffy bar.
I almost said fluffy tail. And then the monster emporium that was nearby it. Because we were thinking about selling our parts the next day.
Yeah.
Because we knew that Homie was still carving some stuff up, so we wanted to just sell everything in bulk once that was figured out. And I think we also wanted to go to the fluffy bar because we wanted to know if they might be... We were told that they have information and, like... They have information and they have stuff that's not easily, like, shared around in terms of, like... I guess in terms of information. So we wanted to know if they knew, like, what's been happening. Maybe they had information about the descriptions we were given by Jaturk, because we're not leading with it being called Big Black Betty, Jesus Christ. And then, I think there was something else that related to that. I think, it wasn't initially, but we crossed, a totem, and I think we were gonna check that out. We were gonna ask about that whole situation there as well.
Yep. And the totem is something that appears to be some kind of symbol of the past of Qual'd. It is rather revered and appreciated by all the Beastkin and their friends, and not appreciated by anybody from Elf Heritage or otherwise, really, but especially Elf Heritage, it seems. Um, and there were some picnics going on around there, and I believe you both asked a Beastkin couple, about what the totem was while they were having a picnic, and they seemed amiable to having you join them later.
You-
And then we left off with you going to do that. Marliana is, or was, training in the guild hall, and also picked up some supplies for her and I believe it was Homie or Magellan. You picked up a
Just
coat for
homie,
somebody.
Yeah, it's for homie.
Okay, cool. Yep, so Marliana got some supplies, and she also got the quest reward for the ships, or for saving the ship, and is going to distribute the monies to everybody. And I don't remember what else after that. I think you just went home, or went back to the inn after that. And Homie was carving out monsters in the guild hall, somewhere in the back rooms where it stinks. And I believe he went back to the inn with no major things happening. I forgot to make you all eat, but that's okay.
It's fine.
We'll eat.
We'll eat in the morning.
We'll eat. Yeah, you'll eat. Gathor had already gone back once you all had docked back on the shore. She'd gone to the inn to go get some sleep.
Right.
And once you all arrive back to the inn, we have to do Starsha and Magellan's thing. But once everybody's back, they all go to sleep and they have a weird vision. Quote unquote.
Alright. I remember this.
Which is still pasted in the chat or a little earlier, so you can read it again if you want. But
I will indeed.
I will not provide any further details, specifically because I do not want to say anything that I don't realize means something. So feel free to read the thing again if you want. And we can go ahead and do some of Starsha and Magellan stuff. I'll try to make it go a little okay. We'll see how much I can dredge up from my sleep-addled brain.
Fair enough.
And how much my Google Docs can load. Oh, that's not the right thing. This is the right thing. Alright. Would you like to go to... Well, actually, let me start with this. So you, Starsha and Magellan, you had wandered off past the totem, out of the... I believe it was the Crete District that's in, and you're exiting Qual'd's town walls to go to the Altel District off in the corner. And as you exit the Creed District and you go through some farm fields, you see some people just kind of farming on their land, and they have equipment that probably could be considered dilapidated. It looks usable, of course, because they're obviously using it, but as they go through the fields, it seems that they could definitely have better. Because it's all very manual.
They've got them hand-me-downs.
The equipment is very manual, and those who are in the fields look like they're quite sturdily built. Perhaps from toiling in the fields for a long time. Maybe some other things, but it's hard to tell.
Fair
And
enough.
as you get closer into the Altel District, you can tell that the homes start to get a little bit more iffy, and everybody looks a little bit more rough around the edges. But I think you're going to see some faces that are a little bit more familiar to you, Starsha, and possibly Magellan. Yeah, definitely Magellan
Alright.
too. As you walk through and you see a lot more Beastkin and possibly a lot more Devilkin as well, kind of walking around. Some of them are sitting on the side of the road begging for coins, and some of them are just kind of asleep on the sidewalk.
But yeah, it
um,
is like, wait, what time is it? Is it like 6 or something? I can't
oh
remember what
yeah,
time it's supposed to be.
it's in the evening.
Yeah, like early evening.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yep. This, or I guess, I mean, she, in her head, she's thinking, oh, this is definitely looking like a shanty town. Hmm. But
Yep.
she won't, she'll just keep walking. I think they were told the general direction from the totem people, like where the fluffy bar and stuff is, so.
Yeah, they would have given you a good indicator of where to go. And the closer you get to the fluffy bar, the more you start to see creatures looking a little bit more tipsy walking around. Uh, Perhaps it's their proximity to available alcohol.
Yes, of course.
But definitely, as you get closer to the bar, there's a lot more people kind of walking around, maybe looking for a fight. Maybe they're just trying to get home. Maybe they're trying to get somewhere special.
We're gonna avoid those people for the time being. We are not really in the physical ability for a scrap at the moment.
Yeah. The
So,
good thing is
yep, we'll
nobody
just
really seems to pay any special attention to you.
so we blend in well, at least as long as we're not like trying to delve into something. It seems like
Yeah.
everyone's ignoring us. All right,
Yep.
that's cool.
Maybe people pay attention to your shoes because your shoes don't look like, you've worn them for years upon years on end. Or maybe you
Yeah,
have. But they don't look so worn out that they shouldn't be, worn anymore. And you have nice bags that hold things. They don't have holes in them. So maybe people will look at you for that, but otherwise, nobody really gives you any
fair enough.
looks.
All
Wait,
right,
plug
I
in my
guess we'll just
laptop.
I guess we'll just approach the fluffy bar then.
It's got some lights. The lights do seem a little weathered, but otherwise it's okay. There's some seating. No, there's actually no seating. But there are people seated outside, even if there is no available seating. Some of them are talking loudly, others of them look like they are about to get in an argument.
You don't say.
A lot of yelling, a lot of other words being thrown around, and also laughing. There's a lot of laughing too.
Alright, well, I mean, I guess we'll just try and, we're here for mostly business, not really to drink or party, so we'll just hurry our way, like, into the building, and then, yeah, I guess see what we can, see if we can find someone, like, I don't know, if we could find, like, an owner or a worker at the establishment way inside.
As you get into the fluffy bar, you'll see and hear the cacophony, and possibly actually feel it before you even see anything. You walk into the doors, and there's like a reverberation of footsteps, stomping, laughter, and general ruckus. As you walk in, there's a lot of activity. It's almost surreal how much activity there is, but you can still find a pocket to kind of keep to yourself. It is still possible, but everybody's shouting, there's a lot of glasses clinking, and there's a waitstaff trying to keep everybody appeased with either food or drink. As
So
they
busy
attempt,
night.
yeah, as they gotta weave through everybody to get through, and you kind of walk up to the bar, and there's two people that actually take notice of you, and they will wave at you. And it looks like they're, let me see. I would imagine they're lizardkin, and they will kind of see you and just wave. And
I'll wave back.
they'll make direct eye contact and start to approach you, actually.
Alright.
And one of them will come
I'll
up and
just...
say, "Yep, go ahead."
Okay. No, I was gonna say the Magellan would probably just sit, like, beside me.
Mm-hmm. They will come up to you as you sit down at the bar, and they'll say, "Well, hello there. Welcome to the Fluffy Bar. Are you all new to the town? We haven't seen you before, actually."
Yes, you could say that. We're adventurers, I guess. We do a little bit of work for the guild, or as of late we have been.
That's awesome. Well, our names are Jason and Krim, and they will introduce themselves. It looks like Jason is talking mostly for Krim, but they both seem to be engaging with you. I want you to do something for me. Can you roll me a mood, please?
Alright. I was actually ironically about to think, like, do I want to mood these two? I will do it. Ooh. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah! Does Magellan want to roll one?
Magellan probably would. But...
Wow.
Wow, that was almost another one, and the game almost said no. Alright, let me check what his mood is. I think he has, like, a 4. But I'm... Oh, that's the wrong page. Magellan. Okay, here it is. You said mood, correct?
5 for...
Unfortunately, I do not have a 5, or he does not have a 5. So.
Okay. Alright, well, as you're being introduced to Jason and Krim, there's a pair of eyes that you feel like are watching you, but you don't really see anything other than that, but you can try a little bit harder as the conversation goes on, but for now you just feel a pair of eyes. And...
So just like a feeling we're getting watched.
Mm-hmm.
That's not abnormal, I think. I guess. Okay, Starsha's not going to say... I'm not going to say Starsha's comfortable with that feeling, but, like, this is definitely an area that she would expect, like, someone's either looking for, like, an easy couple bucks. Someone's also looking possibly for, like, they might be looking at them because, well, earlier today, considering things, I'm sure there's some hubbub on the town about a group of adventurers and, fixing, or what was it, helping save a ship, so... But she won't say or do anything, like, abnormal. She'll just keep having the conversation with Krim and, Jason. Yeah.
Alright. Jason and Krim seem to be pretty amicable. They don't appear to be, like, trying to inch closer to you or anything. They're just having a good time. Seems like they just want to chat. And they will ask you about what your favorite thing about Qual'd is so far. So Jason will say, "That's awesome that you are adventurers, and we're happy to have you here. You fit right in with everybody. What brings you to Qual'd?"
She kind of thinks for a second. Business. Kind of just sightseeing as well. But for the most part, I'd say it's those two things.
Good. And at this point, you will see someone else approach. This creature who is approaching you now is approaching you from a table far off in the corner of the fluffy bar, and you
Okay.
see a tall, gray-scaled lizardkin with razor-sharp teeth. So you can see he's kind of grinning. Maybe not actually grinning, but more like he kind of gets up and bares his teeth a little bit as he's doing so, and that's when you see the teeth. So yeah, it's a very, very tall and gray.
I'll kind of look over. I guess look over towards where they're like who they're approaching to. I guess it's us, so I'll just look over towards them.
Yep. So the lizardkin, you look and their eyes are very bright orange, and they seem to be sternly gazing at everything around them. There's long braided hair that goes down their back, and they have a bright green tunic and some tattoos on their arms.
Tattoos, you say?
Yes, tattoos on their arms.
Hmm.
And on the side of their abdomen, actually, too. So.
Okay.
And they'll come up. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I was. It was just more of a comment, like thinking like this might be a bouncer of some kind, but Starsha's gonna hold, like, not say anything. She's gonna wait for them to speak if they seem like they're going to speak.
Yep. This person will come up and they will say, "Hello and welcome to our tavern here. The best in town if you're looking for a cheap but interesting flavor of the area's beverages. But it's not something that's well noticed usually. I can tell you're a bit out of place. Maybe you're looking for something? Maybe we'll be able to help, but again, information comes at a price." And Jason and Krim will kind of look to them and just kind of look and nod and look back to you.
Starsha's thinking in her head, this person's very straight to the point. I'm trying to think. Starsha's gonna kind of look over. Yeah, Starsha's, I don't think would be like coy about it. Like the fact that not Krim, they haven't said their name. This gray-scaled lizardkin is being like to the point means they either know a little bit about them, like as in like they know a bit about the group Starsha's in, just from like word of mouth, or they're like they know that like okay, this group this pair didn't just come in here for fucking drinks. They want something, so Starsha's gonna lead with that or lean on that. Sorry. Yes, actually, we did come here for some information, you could say. Bit of some clarifications about some recent events. You might actually have some interest yourself.
Very well. And the tall lizardkin will actually walk behind the bar and begin to get out some glasses and say, "Can I offer you a drink while we're speaking?"
She kind of looks... I'm not really a fan too much of hard liquor, so I'll just take some apple or fruit juice of some kind.
Very well.
Magellan is going to take some beer. He's going to take something, maybe not super hard. He's not going to get fucked up, but he's going to take some ale. Like, get him some ale. He's going to be just sorry. I think I'll I'm not exactly like her. I'm going to take some ale. Look over and...
Alright. This lizardkin will go ahead and prepare those drinks, so he will provide you, Starsha, with some apple juice, and he will serve Magellan some ale. It's the house ale. And as the bartender addresses you, Starsha, Jason and Krim will begin talking on the side to Magellan.
Cool. Alright.
Unless you
So, yeah,
want to draw
Starsha, I
Magellan
guess.
back into the conversation.
Oh, no. It's fine. It's probably better, too, because, like, Starsha can just, like, that means that she doesn't have to contend with, like, 3 different people. She can just talk to the one person who seems like they're getting to the point of things better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Alright.
Alright.
She'll turn with her drink and lean in.
Mm-hmm. Great. This person will say, apologies for not introducing myself. I am a, I have to see if this is the proprietor of this establishment. I believe they are. This person will just say, my name is Grayfang, and it's a pleasure to serve you today, and I hope that I can provide you with whatever information you need. I do hear a lot of things pass over this bar, so I imagine they'll have what it is that you're here for.
That's good to hear. To kind of take a swig of her drink. So, how much have you heard about our group, we'll say?
I assume you're a guild group of some kind?
Temporary, but yes.
We haven't really heard much except whispers that there's some new people in town. Or new creatures, I'm sorry. Creatures that normally wouldn't walk around in the other districts.
I guess we'll give her a drink, but she'll just keep listening.
And also, a strange assortment. Because you don't normally see a Beastkin and Devilkin walking with humans and Aquaman. They'll just say that.
I was thinking for a second human, and then I had to remember. I was like, oh right, in her human form, Thor probably does look like actually not even a overly tall human. Probably like a just somewhat tall human.
Yep.
I guess yeah. Does Gathor have any noticeable skill patches or something?
No.
Or is like that normally covered?
She doesn't have any noticeable skill patches.
Okay, so yeah, then she does just look human. Okay, cool. Yep. Wait, who's the other Beastkin? Am I like?
No, you're the only Beastkin.
Oh, I'm a Sylvan.
Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. Oh my god.
That's fine. I mean, we look like Beastkin. Sylvan basically are just Beastkin Fae, but yeah, they're Sylvan.
Okay.
That's alright. Technically, Marliana is a Beastkin, right? Yeah, she's Aquan. So, well, half Aquan. So she's mixed. She's a mixed breed Beastkin. Okay. I'm a mixed breed Sylvan technically. So
mostly to me in my head, you would look mostly like Beastie and less like Sylvan-y.
Also, if this person has never seen a if this person has never seen a Galeful tail, I probably would just look like a weird Beastkin.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So yeah, I'd actually do I want to correct do I want to correct them? I'll let it hang for now. I won't say anything. I'll just nod.
Okay. That's my fault. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is fine. I'll lean on this because that means that it means that it just keeps me more hidden because people just assume that when they hear the group they're thinking of a Beastkin and they don't know. That's fine. Anyway, continue. Sorry, she just takes a swig of her drink.
Grayfang will respond with, "That's all I've really heard about your group, but again, I've also been keeping my ear for other things too.
Other things. She'll lean in a bit.
Yes, the general happenings of Qual'd and its citizens. If you want to know more, you're going to have to ask for specifics.
Fair enough. She'll kind of lean back for a second, take a deep breath. Specifics then. Are you aware of the incident that happened on the waters earlier today?
The only thing I've heard about is that there was some commotion on the docks. I haven't really heard
Yes.
any wind about what specifically happened.
Well, pin in that for a moment. What can you tell me about this? I heard while passing through the Creed District, I believe it was the Creed District, right? Not the Titan District with the
It was
totem?
the Creed
Okay.
District.
While passing through the Creed District, we heard some whispers about some issues with a totem, an Altel totem, Alto totem.
Yes, that totem has
What's that
been...
commotion about?
That is a long-standing symbol of sorts for the oppressed people of this town.
I heard a tune from it when I was there. I kind of like motion over Magellan still talking. He wasn't able to hear it, but I was. It seems like I wasn't the only other creature that was able to as well. Well, I guess yes, that's also saying.
That tune that you heard is often associated with a supposed curse that's upon the totem. Although none have been able to, this is how you say, confirm that there is such a curse or what the nature of it is. Those of Beastkin heritage are able to hear a song, and those who are not usually do not hear it unless they are of elven heritage, in which case the curse is supposedly supposed to affect elves rather negatively. They end up...
It would make sense why we didn't see any around that area.
Usually if they stay for too long, they end up suffering consequences.
Is this a long-standing issue? I kind of feel like I can understand a little bit why they would want to remove it if that was the case.
It's a very long-standing issue. And the totem has actually been attempted at being removed many times. But no one's ever been able to
They did
actually
mention
succeed.
something about that.
Yes.
So it's just an old relic at this point.
It may be an old relic, but it does still serve its purpose.
Its purpose? Kind of looks over.
Its purpose of reminding those of us that there is something to fight for.
I've read a little bit about the Alto Laltel, briefly, we'll just say. There's still a lot more I'm learning about. The Consortium Wars, things after, and such. Well, the way you speak, it almost sounds like those old tales and that old conflict is still brewing.
They will continue cleaning glasses and will say, I believe that would be a correct or apt assumption to make based on what you've heard.
Do I push more or do I back Starsha will back off for that for a moment then. That's a sleeping dog go let lie for a moment. Alright. What could I dig in deeper? It does relate, but nah, maybe I will screw it a little bit. Starsha will look over. We had a run-in with some interesting people aboard. Oh right, I didn't explain, did I? We were part of that little docks fiasco. There was an urgent quest that the guild received that we answered. We had to go and help a Faith of the Wheel vessel out, one of the 2 surviving vessels out. They were attacked by some Uldur and some other things as well. We dealt with it for the most part, but it was a tough fight. Makes me wonder. Kinda like jostles her glass a little bit. Well, considering the way you just spoke now, some of the attitudes towards certain members of our group while we were there, I just wonder how intentional certain things were. These creatures, while they were beasts, at least some of them, we have some reason to believe that something might have cajoled them into this attack. So I'm curious, since it sounds like you have some information about it, who do you know would have a reason to attack a Faith of the Wheel vessel carrying, say, unspecified armaments and such?
Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure that I can provide you with that.
Thanks. Is that due to Is that due to lack of information, or is that you just simply can't tell me?
I would say it's more due to lack of information. While my network does span a great deal of things, unfortunately it is not all-encompassing, and this is something that it seems to have not quite branched out to yet.
This district looks like it's dealing with a little bit. We were walking. It's mostly farmlands until you get to this area of the town, we'll say. It's also a pretty, somewhat decent distance out from the town itself. A 20 or 30 walk. So I wonder, why is the town walled in over there? And, well, I've heard some answers as to why, but why isn't this part of the town receiving much funding anymore?
Excuse me as I look at a thing.
Oh, look at. Fair enough.
Okay.
Alright. Julia? kind of thinks. An old or recent change?
Let me give you this answer. So Grayfang will respond with, that was a change that was enacted with the Civil War. And there's differing opinions about this separation. Some believe that wealth within Qual'd should be redistributed, and that the wall should be removed. Not in its entirety, but perhaps that those in the Altel District should be more included. And others believe that dismantling the Altel District itself would be the best action.
Dismantling the district? What happened to the people?
I do not believe that that would be of their particular care or conscience for those who think of that situation.
Do you have a name? She'll take a swig as she says that, I guess.
Grayfang will respond with, if you want a name, I'm afraid we're going to have to get to know each other a little bit. Or perhaps that we're going to have
there it
to
is.
establish a working relationship. I believe you seem quite capable.
No, it's fine. I was just like, I was waiting for this is the thing I can't tell you. I was waiting to see how far I could go. As I was slowly going. Alright, so this is the thing I can't. Okay. That's alright. That's me thinking out loud. Go ahead.
Yep. Grayfang will say, you seem quite capable, especially with being able to assist the guild in the emergency situation that occurred earlier today with the ships. And if you're privy, I would be open to opening a channel in which the two of us would benefit. You know, the two of us, which includes your group as well, as a whole, would benefit.
I'll kind of look over and nod to Magellan. And I assume he would, for the I could not think of a reason why Magellan would disagree, at least. Not from what they sent me, so. Sure, working relationship. Though how discreet does this relationship need to be?
Don't tell anyone in the guild about it. And do not tell any of the guard or any other commanding
Please.
commanding
we barely
officers.
talk to the guards as... I was gonna say, we barely talked to the guards as is. Earlier this day, we talked to one of the main guards.
Woo! Just make sure that only those of our company would have knowledge of your assistance.
Of course. However, we'll probably need some type of... Well, if we're going to keep popping up here... Considering we attract attention wherever we seem to go, apparently, that I feel like is going to become a recurring theme, we might need a standing reason why we're arriving here repeatedly. She kind of looks around. I assume that you do some other things outside of just being a tavern.
Grayfang would kind of position himself in a way where his tattoos on his arms and the side of his
Abdomen?
Yeah, the side of his abdomen would be more visible. If there's something you want to roll for me. Go ahead and roll me that knowledge local regal with the addition of your thingy mabobber.
The thing? What's the thingy mabobber?
What's your expertise in?
Oh, you mean occult?
Yeah.
That's a question mark. 5? Let me check. My occultist knowledge is so great that I can totally remember what the pluses of it every time. It is a 4. If
Okay.
it's local regal, it is a 12. If it's occult, it is a 16.
Okay. So you would recognize that the tattoos on Grayfang's
Grayfang?
abdomen and arms are that of the Alto Laltel.
All right, so they're a member of them. It looks like okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Hmm.
I believe that answers your question.
So she's just thinking. She's kind of murmuring this a little bit to herself. So no, the guild, no, the guard. All right, fair enough. All right, I think that will do then. She kind of looks over. She'll, I guess, hold out her hand. We agreed to those terms. However, there is one other thing additional, I guess you could say.
And what would that be?
We need assistance with some specific information, I guess.
Very well.
If you could look into it and maybe get us some answers on things, that would be splendid.
Alright.
She'll does she want to? Yeah, she'll say, we arrived at this town under some interesting circumstances. We'll just say. There was a message left. I don't think you'll be able to read it. She'll hold out she'll hand the message over that the test thing they got, the message they got at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you cannot read this.
It looks like absolute gibberish to me. Grayfang will kind of lean down to look at it as he's cleaning a glass or making a drink. And, yeah, he will respond back with, it looks like jargon. I cannot read anything. It doesn't even look like words.
I want to know who wrote this. Or at least I want to know what this language could be. Because to our eyes, we can read it as perfectly fine common. But to most others, except for a specific person in the guild hall, who was able to read parts of it and see a symbol, she'll flip it over, on the back, it seems like gibberish.
Grayfang will hold out his hand as if to request you providing the
she'll
paper
hand
to
it.
him.
She'll hand it over.
He'll take a look at it. Let me... Okay. He will turn it over a few times and kind of shake out a beer mug that he was washing.
Mm-hmm.
And say, I can try to look into this, however, although I'm not a linguist, it doesn't quite seem like it has a pattern that's recognizable. Perhaps it's
Is
some
there any
kind of
magic on
magic?
it?
Yeah. Um, he would hear you say magic, and he would say yes. I imagine that would be the more likely cause of the inability for others to read it. Especially since it seems that this individual that you said who can read it would not possibly have any idea as to what language this could be if they can read it and you still don't know what it is.
The head guild mom at the guild hall in Qual'd, in the Titan District. Miss Fari, I believe is her name.
Yes. I do not believe that this is a language per se. I believe it is magic that is obscuring, or some other kind of manipulation, perhaps, that is obscuring the intent of the message.
Starsha kind of thinks, I forgot about that kind of energy manipulation. Kind of mummers for a minute. It could be psionic.
Indeed.
She kind of shakes her head. Regardless, thanks for your insight, I guess. If you find anything about anything that looks like this, that would be very helpful.
I will keep my ears to the ground.
Indeed, and we'll keep ours up around the town. Is there anything in particular that you would want information on or would like to know more about?
Actually, I don't have a particular desire for information right now, but I do have something that you can help me with. And Grayfang will hand you a paper with what looks to be information on it that details a quest.
Alright.
So,
what does Grayfang want?
Grayfang is providing you a quest to look for a sunken vessel or a wreckage of a vessel along the coastline of the Qual'd River.
Little swimming. She'll kind of murmur. Marliana, I'm sure, will love this. Yeah, we're not getting a submarine. I would rather we'll swim. All right, it's much safer, honestly.
You don't want that game controller on the ship?
Nah, I'm good, fam. If they give me a mech and it's got a game controller controlling it, I'm gonna just say, you know what? I'll just walk. It's fine.
No.
Better yet, let me make you a sub.
It'll be fine.
Let me make
Look,
you
they
a
do
sub out
surgery
of
on
carbon
game
fiber.
controllers. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not gonna give me a fucking Logitech from 2012, are they? They're gonna give me something a bit more better.
I'm trusted to make a 360 long across the map quick scope. I can trust it to.
Well then, yeah, basic 360 controller. That's all you need.
Goes up, down, left, right. What more do you need?
Maybe front and back. But yeah, we'll sorry.
You're fine.
The voices in Starsha's head that were acting up again.
The voices in your head? Ooh.
Yeah. No, Starsha kind of thinks so. She will look over, I guess, the quest. So what? Sorry, did you actually say what it was? And I was just completely ignoring it. I apologize. Like what the description of what she wanted or what they wanted were.
He wants you to look on the coastline of the Qual'd River for the wreckage of a sunken vessel.
Okay, wreckage of sunken vessel. Right, you did say that. I remember now. I apologize.
You're fine.
Sure, we can do this.
Excellent. Thank you for your assistance. I will provide you with...
Whose vessel is it? Was it, I guess, would be a better way of saying that.
Okay.
That sounds yeah, that's something you want to hear from the DM. Okay.
Grayfang will respond with, I believe you would be able to figure that out possibly from the vessel itself or the things you may find on it. But I will provide you with 500 gold if you are able to provide to me the location of the vessel, as well as any items which are of no use to you, or that you cannot, how you say, do anything with.
So you just need us to do a preliminary salvage and then tell you about the location.
Correct.
Kind of gives her. She kind of looks over. And the vessel's former occupation is not going to be a problem.
No, it should not be a problem.
All right then. We have to start somewhere with trusting each other, right?
Of course.
By the way, when she says that, she's looking her dead in the eyes when she says that.
You know what? I don't think it actually fucking matters. Grayfang will just say, I have word that this vessel belonged to the Church of Avalis, formerly.
Church of Avalis. Knowledge. Would that be faith? Wait, knowledge
Would be
occult
faith.
can be used in place of faith, right?
Huh?
Am I remembering that right? Knowledge occult can be used in place of two things. What was it? I can't remember.
Occult?
I think it was
it can. Was it faith and soul energy, or
I think it was nature
something
and soul.
else?
Maybe.
One moment, I'm going to chapter 3.
We should
real
probably
quick.
remember this soon.
We use it's every session at this point. I'm like, hey, what's the cult used for? And then then I'm not able to use it. Then I forget, and then when I'm finally able to use it, I roll poorly.
That sounds about right.
Fuck, it's nature. Never mind, I'll roll fake. I'll remember eventually. All right. I won't. I promise. This won't be the entire campaign. I won't just keep forgetting. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do it like a test. I'm gonna like study for it.
Oh, yeah, baby flashcards.
Yep. I actually might. Don't tempt me. Alright, what was my plus? I think it was a 2. Faith. It was a 3. It is a 15.
Okie dokie. So, you would remember that this faith is led by someone called the Speaker of Light. And
oh boy, they sound pretentious.
There's 3 kind of what's denoted as champions appointed by the faith. And these champions are given special privileges and blah 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 and whatever. And that their culture is about purity and not giving in to sin.
This sounds like a cult. Anyway. This description sounds like a cult, I should say.
So it is very there's an Old Testament and a New Testament, it looks like, or what you recall. Those are the basic things that you remember, like, oh yeah, they're pretentious, they have an old book and a new book and 3 people that have a big head.
Fair enough. How I guess what Starsha mostly cares about is, would it be a problem if they were caught salvaging this ship? Obviously, it seems without the permission of the Church of Avalis.
They would definitely have to question how the fuck you found it.
All right, so yeah, that's what she needed to know because she was basically like, okay, how discreet does this need to be? Can we just like, all right, we're gonna go get a ship. Hey guys, we're gonna do a salvage thing. Don't say anything. Go and get salvage. We need to like not say what we're really doing. We just say we're going fishing, and then say, hey, while fishing, we found this like cool like a crate full of shit. And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, cool. That she's gauging like that the level of like discretion need to be. Okay. Yep, that she got her answer then. She's like, okay, cool.
Also, is the music still playing?
Yeah, it's for me.
Okay, cool. Grayfang
She'll agree.
will just give you that and say, I would advise general caution because this is the Qual'd River, and it's not exactly uninhabited or unpatrolled. So just take that as you may.
We'll keep. Well, don't worry. We'll be able to keep ourselves clean, at least looking. We'll return with hopefully within the next few days with the location of the ship. I'll need to talk with the group about exactly how we're going to do this. We'll probably need to procure a vessel temporarily speaking. Do you have someone that could possibly pilot a ship for us?
Yes, actually. We will be providing you. I'll make sure that you're provided with a small vessel on loan for this operation. But we would
Perfect.
expect it to be returned.
Oh, of course.
But if it's damaged severely or completely unsalvageable, we will require it to be deducted from your payment. So just make sure you keep it safe.
You're not? Alright then. I'd say that was pretty eventful. Should I like sit up, look over to Magellan? Oh, also, we did have some monster parts to sell. Do you happen to purchase any of that type of stuff?
I do not. However, the Monster Wall Emporium, that's a little ways down, will certainly take something like that.
Could you put in a good word for us? Maybe for a better price. I mean, we are helping each other here.
Of course, yes. I'm actually quite friendly with the proprietor of that establishment. So.
Should not. Very well. Thanks for the drink. She will slide over. How much was the drink? Because I had something that wasn't exactly on the menu, I assume, because I had just like juice. But how
I'll
much
say
did the ale
juice is
cost?
like 3 copper or something like that.
And then the ale?
The ale will be, I think 2 gold, maybe.
2 gold. All right. She will slide her.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me.
Those poor peasant bastards.
Yeah. Look, they gotta get the gold when they can. All right. That's how they get you.
Maybe it's 1. Just like 1. 1's fine.
1 gold. I'll give. Not Krim. Oh my God, Grayfang. I'll give him 2 gold.
He will give you a head nod and say thank you for your patronage, for visiting today, and also for being willing to help. I appreciate it.
Alright, then she will make her way, make their way out, and then head back to the town.
Alright. Got a new quest in hand.
Indeed. There's some other questions he has, but she'll wait for the relationship to be a little bit better before she asks.
Alright. So you'll head back. I assume you're not going to the Monster Wall Emporium now. You're just gonna head back immediately.
No, we'll just head back immediately.
Okay.
She'll put in a word, or he'll put in a word.
Yep. If that's the case, you all will head back, and it will be dark by the time you're heading out.
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Krim will give their farewells to Magellan and to you.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just say, please make sure to come back another time. We appreciate seeing you.
Nod. And she'll keep going. Yep, she'll just give him a nod and keep going.
Alright. You'll go ahead and make it
Magellan will
back.
tip his hat.
Is there anything you want to talk about with Magellan on your way back, or do you just want to hit the hay?
I think the only thing that Magellan would probably mention something about maybe needing some ammo. She would talk about, like, we can get some ammo in the morning, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, he'd probably ask something about, like, why didn't you talk to him more about the ship? And she would just say, she's just waiting she's waiting to see more how this relationship will go before she shares more like that.
Okie dokie.
So.
If that's the case, you all will head back into the Creed District and pass by the totem pole again. And once again, you hear the tune of whistling, that nice little melody, and there's still a few creatures surrounding the totem having a late night dinner, but mostly everybody is kind of cleared out, but there are still some lights.
I kind of want to listen to the tune for a bit.
Mm-hmm. How long?
Let's see what happens. That's a good point. I guess like 20-ish minutes.
Okay.
Maybe talk a little bit with the people around it. Socialize.
You get a +2 bonus to sanity and instinctual checks for the next 8 hours.
Wow. That's nice. I'm gonna have to come back here in the morning. This. Alright. So, yep, I will, I'll note that. Well, I mean, I assume, like, obviously I don't know the bonus itself, but I know, like, I feel more sane, or I feel more instinctually in control.
Yep.
I will remember that, and I will return, kind of just as we walk away, describing that feeling to Magellan, because I assume Magellan doesn't have this feeling at
Nope.
all, right?
Nope.
I get Starsha's kind of wondering as she's heading back as well, like, about this curse. Grayfang said that this has been a curse for a long time. And Starsha's kind of like trying to square that of like, okay, this makes sense from just a basic reason of why someone would want to remove it. Because if it's cursing a group of people, that's not good. Regardless of the situation. But what she's trying to figure out is if it was... Because I think she heard something different from the person that was there about when this, like, weird stuff started to happen. And she's trying to figure out, like, if the curse is something that's been, like, oh, there's always been a curse and everyone says it, but it's actually only been affecting people for, like, I don't know, like, the last month. Or if it's, like, something else. Because something might have been provoking, I don't know, a reaction. We'll see. So far, she hasn't seen anyone that's actually been cursed either, so it could just be literally a myth. So she doesn't know. She's trying to figure out, okay, is there an actual curse, or is it just like people are like, oh, you know, the curses of our forefathers coming back to bite us in the ass or something like that. So
maybe you can ask somebody next time.
Go find a random elf in the Gallon District. Hey, stand by this totem for 20 minutes. Tell me what happens to you. Where's Percy? Percy, I need to borrow you for like 10 minutes. Come here.
Percy would just be like, what? And then he'd stand there and be like, why are you asking me to do this again?
And then I would proceed to bullshit him for like 10 to 20 minutes until I see anything change in him. It's like,
Poor Percy,
yeah,
he's done nothing wrong.
I know, Percy, you haven't done anything wrong. Hey, the good news is, Percy, I don't think your head's gonna explode. That's about it. That's about all I know that probably won't happen. I don't know about anything else.
The voices are starting to re-enter my head.
Oh boy. So, all right. Yep. She'll just get back to the room and head to sleep.
Yep. Alright. You and Magellan will head to sleep, and again, everybody, Marliana and Homie, you can look back over the description of the special little thing that you saw, well, not saw, heard when you went to
Heard.
sleep last night. Um,
The thing in the chat.
so it's in the chat. 6, 10.
I'm pretty sure it's pinned.
Yeah, it's pinned. Yeah.
No, an origin
chat.
team.
Alright. So, you all will have that lovely little thing that you recall as you wake up to a beautiful morning of sunshine and rainbows. Next to your.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't rained yet since we've been here.
Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. I guess Starsha's not like hoping for rain inherently, but like she's from like Rainy Mountain, like Misty Peak area, so.
I don't know what rain is. I've never seen rain. I'd hope not.
Do you get that reverse rain? Oh boy. Oh, I guess in the morning I will clang something hard. Homie, where's your head? I need to like clang it real quick. No,
Wait, what?
No, Starsha will like clang something metal against the broadside of her sword, or her short sword, to get people's attention. We have a mission today.
Oh, that's funny, because I had something to talk about before we go out, actually.
She'll raise an eyebrow. What was that?
Your weapons. I'm gonna point to definitely Magellan. And who else? Was it Homie?
It was also Homie.
Yeah. They need their weapons repaired.
Yeah. It's like 2 points away from being broken, I believe. Maybe 1 point.
You had a 1-1 on your weapon, which damages it.
Same with Magellan. Was it his flintlock?
Flintlock, yeah.
Yeah. So
I can repair
Magellan
it,
just
but I need the
look at
materials
it.
to repair. I'm
I'm
also able to mine, but I don't have a pickaxe.
Homie has a pickaxe. It's somewhat broken, but it works.
Oh, trusty here can mine away.
You raise a good point. We can't exactly do this operation without making sure our weapons are up to snuff.
Mariana can fix tools and mine. That's what helpful fish.
Yeah, well, it's easy to get your own materials rather than buying it.
Mine underwater.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm assuming you can. I mean, Aquins, I'm sure, mine for most of their stuff below, right?
I mean, maybe for those unaccustomed to the water.
That's true. Rather, they could use drills. We use drills in Gara.
Mariana actually will be stronger than the average.
She just looks over at Marliana's physique. I think that was pretty evident, homie.
Yes, yeah, I don't judge my like physique. But, usually like bodybuilders, they just got the muscles to show. So they're like at least strong.
That's fair. Anyways, about the resources. Do you have a place that we think we can get the resources from? You mentioned not buying them, so I assume.
Yeah, I thought I talked to someone about that. Did I though?
About what?
I thought I talked to someone about a mining quest.
Was it someone here?
Oh, yeah, I talked to Fari.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
Fari
not
said
us.
that you're able to get a mining quest from the old Pikesmith.
Yep, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I just found that too.
Yep. Okay.
So I don't currently have any mining quests. And we don't necessarily need to, but it might help us in the future.
Well, you raise a good point. In general, we should have the resources to repair our tools, at least self-sufficiently if we can. The less we have to spend on that, the better. Do you know what we need to repair them?
I imagine just some iron. These weapons don't look too special. Well,
Right.
yes, I understand the sentiment, but they're not made from anything different than an average tool.
Magellan kind of says, if little Missy thinks she can get this get my thing working, and he holds up the flintlock that's like, I imagine like the trigger is like kind of bent awkwardly at an angle where like it jammed because he like just forcibly tried to slam it down. Better than going out there with this. I don't need the blunt side of that. I got this, and he whips out the spear, kind of twirls it. Actually, not that bad. The Altel know how to make a spear. Tell him that. And he's got like the blast armament attached to it, so it's like got the trigger on the end.
One end we got a mining quest, and on the other end we got
I never actually said.
this is where you would say.
Oh, yeah, you're just like looking over at Starsha, like what do we have? Starsha kind of looks. Oh, right. A salvage operation.
So, like, something we kind of just did?
A little bit less of saving people on a ship being attacked, and more like we are going out in the water and salvaging what remains of a ship.
Oh, okay.
Well, more like parts, not exactly the ship itself. We'll be getting what we can resource-wise from it. Magellan nods. Having the resources could be useful in general, though, anyway. It's neat. I'm sure Amaliana would know more than any of us here, actually.
Yeah, water.
Sherlock looks, are you okay?
Yeah.
Where does the water?
Of course not. What kind of fish would be afraid of the water? No, it's just... Yeah, fighting underwater is different, that's all.
It might be good to have weapons that would be good underwater. You know, I should look up. Maliana, do you have any suggestions on that?
Spears are good. Tridents. Poking
She kind of like
weapons.
tap her short sword.
Yeah, it should do.
I don't imagine a pickaxe will probably be good underwater. At least for combat, I should say.
Pickaxe might make things difficult.
In that case, which one do we want to do first? I'm completely fine with us doing the mining mission. It sounds like it could be lucrative in more than one way.
I think
Never know what we can find in the addiction.
Hmm.
Plus, you can't do much mining without trusting it.
well, I plan on getting a pickaxe for myself either way, since I should have already had one.
Why don't, for this first time, pay to get our weapons fixed? Since they're probably cheap, since it doesn't really need any special materials. While these get repaired, we do the underwater mission, and whatever funds we get paid from that, we pay whatever, and then whatever cool stuff we find down here. I'm guessing we pay this specific item, whatever else we find to keep.
Yes. Well, a few things, but yes.
I think. Maybe that idea won't be too bad. We know your weapons. You can pay for the upgrades if you like. Just or the repairs.
Magellan kind of says, don't think it too hard. You'll be there to fix them next time.
We just don't have the materials right now. And it seems like we got two missions that one doesn't require it, the other one does require it.
Starsha will look over. Guthor, what do you think?
She was sleeping, wiping her eyes, and she kind of looks up and she says, I'm sorry, what? I'm still waking.
Guthor, is this going to be a recurring thing every morning?
Listen, I'm not a morning person, okay?
She just sighs. Alright, let's just do the salvage operation. Though, do you think we should pick up the quest from... Well, I mean, if we're gonna go to the Pikesmith anyway to have our weapons repaired, we might as well pick up the quest.
Yeah.
Do you know the details of what exactly they need?
Nope.
I guess we'll find out when we get there. Oh, I should clarify as well. This salvage operation is not a salvage operation that we should be... This is a private endeavor.
Secret mission? Marliana's face is gonna start glowing.
She looks... As soon as she sees it, she's like, yes, however, that means that we need to keep it very silent. Okay. The guild and the guard.
That's who gave us the mission, or that's who we're keeping quiet?
She kind of looks over. I guess it's not even worth hiding anyway. Yesterday me and Magellan made a little business relationship. Something to help us out in the town while we're here. For information and other things. One of those stipulations, what'd you say?
With the guild, like, you made special arrangements?
No. There's a place. You remember we were listening about it from Chavez, the Fluffy Bar? The main proprietor of that place, their name is Grayfang. He gave us a little salvage operation quest. In return, we'll get some information and some assistance over some endeavors here. It's not like it's a bad deal, let's say. As far as I can tell, they don't have a reason to... Well... As far as I can tell, we don't have a reason to mistrust them, is all I'll say.
And what exactly are we getting from this shipwreck?
Cough, cough, player to DM. I know that Grayfang said they wanted some specific things from there. Would they have outlined what those specific things were?
So,
Or did they just want like a share of the things from there?
the conclusion is that they just want a share of the things.
And then they won the location. That was it. The location was the other big thing.
So, like, things that you don't find particularly of use to you, or anything that you actually can't do anything with. So, I'm not going to go into details of what that might be, but if you...
Like art objects and things like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. Yep. So I would just say like that what basically Grayfang told me there, like, you know, art objects, certain things, maybe some bobs. I would also say I would go ahead and just say, like, the reason why this is a discrete quest is because we are salvaging a Church of the... Not Wheel, sorry. It's the Church of
The
Avarice.
Avarice.
Yes, Church of Avarice vessel. Salvaging, more like.
I mean, I guess it is lost at sea, what you go getting, so
I imagine the intent is to get this before somebody else would. Though I am curious how this vessel was downed, but I'm not one to pry in that way at the moment.
So, what if we find...
If we find what? She looks over.
Just some damning evidence of what happened to the ship, and I don't know.
I guess it depends on what we find. Grayfang, well, Grayfang doesn't actually have the exact location. That's something that he wants, once we can find it.
So he wants the exact location of the ship. We have, I guess, the general area.
Correct. I assume that they were privy to this information from another group, and they're looking to pounce on this before another vessel does.
I don't really mind stealing from the church. I'm never religious anyway.
Depends on the church, I guess, for me. If it was the way of the sea, I'd maybe have a little misgivings, but it's not like we're being sent out there to go and, you know, hog tie anyone, it sounds like. Well, you do raise a good point.
Other question. We're not fish like Marliana. How do we gonna keep our breath?
Well, most of us should be able to hold our breath for a decently long enough time, provided we're not overexerting ourselves.
As long as I can hold my breath for like a minute. I think it takes longer than a minute to
There's some apparatuses we can buy. I'm not sure where. Maybe the guild might have some, or maybe some general shops around the area. They called them air filters back where I was from. Little oxygen-like mask you put on, allow you to breathe. Though I remember there being somewhat pricey. Marliana might know more about this.
Absolutely not. I've never seen them. I have heard, but I've never really needed to think about it.
Right. Well, if worst comes to worst, Marliana can do the most. She's not exactly weak. She can do the most things when it comes to tying things up, bringing them to the surface and such. We're not really supposed to be salvaging everything on the vessel. If anything, we'll probably take the stuff at the surface. If there's something that's a little bit down but not too far, we can grab it there. But otherwise, we just can give Grayfang the location.
There is also another way where
What's that?
Marianne, you can breathe through your mouth, right?
I also have gills on my neck and under my ribs.
Starsha's kind of looking.
Gathor would just look up at you, homie.
You said Gathor's doing what?
Gathor's gonna look up at homie and just say, "You You're disgusting.
Well, I mean, if it's an emergency, you know.
I need you to... She'll say, I need you to get something very clear. Consent is a thing.
That's why I'm asking now.
Homie, are you worried about drowning that much?
The ocean is not a place to play in, okay?
Well, I've never tested the water air trick thing. Though I don't know.
It depends. How do you feel about pissing? All of us. Basically the sense of that.
She just blushes a tiny bit.
Starsha just kind of looks over. I mean, if it's the difference between one of us surviving or not, I don't think I'd care. Starsha just not knocking the sails out of that completely. Just, I don't care.
Well, if it was an emergency, maybe it's something that should be tested.
I actually don't think that would work necessarily. Because when you breathe out a different thing than what you breathe in. Right? So, because you're breathing out a different thing, when someone else breathes it in, it's not going to help.
Then there's the old bottle trick, though.
What about CPR? You just pretty much saying CPR isn't it?
Except that you're above ground when you do CPR.
Yeah, but they're forcibly putting oxygen.
That's
to
to
pump your
inflate the lungs.
And put oxygen in you, and they push on your abdomen or your lungs.
Does someone have an empty glass bottle? She looks around.
Not at the moment.
Well, what if that only works once?
Yes, but all you'll need is once to get back to the surface, hopefully. You shouldn't be diving deep enough that you would need more than once.
We can probably ask Chavez.
Who took this underwater quest? Who took this underwater quest? Still many variables.
This is the quest you wanted.
No, I was a mining quest.
So she just looks over. We'll be fine, homie. Calm down. You don't have to get in the water if you're scared of getting in the water.
I'm not scared of the water. I'm scared of dying.
Then you'll have no problem jumping in. Congratulations, we're done.
And
she'll,
I
like,
won't
start
let
walking.
anyone die underwater.
So yeah, I guess we'll head to. Oh, we should eat before we go.
We gotta wait 30 minutes though before going into the water.
We're not going to be going in the water within 30 minutes of us eating. We have 2 stops to make. We have to go to the Old Pike Smith, which is... Where's the Old Pike Smith, Mariana?
The old Pikesmith is in the Titan District.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like right nearby. Okay, that's fine. And then from there, we need to go to the Altel District.
To sell our animal parts.
That's not the only one.
Also, homie,
Yes,
you're gonna need
thanks.
another weapon since you're getting your pickaxe repaired. Probably something that can be used underwater.
Can you use short swords, homie?
I get a spear gun. I want a spear gun.
Spear guns are going to be expensive.
You want a harpoon launcher? That sounds expensive.
But it sounds fun. I think of
Yes.
all the fish I can catch it on. Think of all the... I didn't want to say fish. 'cause why not?
You're digging yourself this hole, you know that, right?
I eat. It's okay.
Think of all the fish you can catch.
Indeed. But you could also just use a spear for that.
So what's the spirit that makes it hard.
You need a spear, by the way. Yeah, a long spear. That you can use that underwater.
I'll take a long spear. I can't have a spear.
And it works
Isn't
because
Magellan's serrated
hmm?
spear a long spear? It's like a variant long spear. It's a trick weapon, I know, but like
I probably
Yeah.
it's probably like a long spear-ish weapon. Oh no, actually it might not be a long spear because a long spear has reach. I don't think this has reach.
Oh yeah, long spears do have reach. Look at that.
So
Let me
See
look at the quest again.
Sounds
we'll
terrible.
get food while while they're having this conversation. We're getting food, I should say.
Okay, as you're getting food and like eating your fill, Chavez is going to walk up to your
boy.
party and clear his throat in such a way that he commands your attention.
I'll look over.
He's going to say, I apologize for interrupting your breakfast. However, I had something that I needed to discuss with you all. I received a report last night from an adjacent someone else staying in this inn, and we received a complaint that someone from your room, quote, punched a hole in the wall, and confronted the other guest and attempted to climb up their door.
Starsha's just like, because she remembers the dent in the wall, like the really bad dent in the wall. But she's like, what are they talking about? She got like her eyebrow raised, like, what? Sorry, what happened last night, you said?
Homie,
Chavez
no,
is-
they're not.
Chavez,
Well, no one blamed you, but
So I definitely was climbing up the wall. And I was like, but not his door. I left a note saying I didn't do his door. I thought about it. And I'm 100% sure.
yes, apparently the guest was not able to reach the note because it was, quote, too high.
She looks over. The note was too high. Homie, where did you leave the note?
Jumped up and put it at the top of the door.
So they can't jump? She kind of like questioningly looks.
Chavez will say, our guest who filed the complaint was of a shorter stature.
She just like hand in her head, just okay.
Very proud of the height that I've achieved. And I'm able to get it. That's like,
I apologize for the inconvenience once again, Chavez. Shut up, Tommy. And we will. How much would the wall repairs cost?
whoa, cost. I'll do the repairs.
Chavez
Would
will
that be
say,
okay? She'll look over.
we don't have an estimate of the cost yet because you've been staying in your room and I haven't had somebody sent in to provide an estimate. However, I will be able to possibly provide you with an estimate today.
why don't you just bill whoever is paying for meals and the room to stay?
Because they provided me with cash money.
I thought they said 100.
I cannot imagine they would expect this.
I don't imagine they would expect anyone to be on whatever someone must be on to think that they can, quote, climb walls.
I climbed the wall that it ended up with a dent in it like that.
See how you approach climbing a wall. You would go at a distance, and you would go at it at your top speed. But just before you approach the wall, you would put 1 foot forward, and it's like when you're walking, but instead of walking horizontally,
You tried to walk up a wall. Vertically. You tried to walk up a wall vertically.
well, yeah, that's how you would climb a wall, but without your head.
She slow turns to Chavez. Mariana might be able to do the repairs in a bit, if that would be alright.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm allowed to actually have any of the guests staying at the inn to provide
Right.
repairs. I must go to an outside accredited source for that. I apologize.
We'll do our due diligence to make sure that our child is on a leash next time.
Technically, the damage dose is only hypothetical. If there was no damage, then there'd be nothing to repair. So as long as there's nothing there when you see it.
Homie,
Yeah?
are you going to fix the wall?
Well, I didn't say I was going to fix the wall. Well, Leon wants to fix the wall, but
Then
assuming that needs to be fixed because they're only assuming that it's damaged.
no words must be said then. Come, homie.
Mariana was really hype about fixing the wall and our tools. Just trying to keep one of us happy.
I am also
Should just look
attempting
back
to.
over the Chavez.
I'm also attempting to prevent any liability issues with my inn.
Indeed.
I hope you understand.
Yes,
You can see he's getting
we
a little
will-
fed up with homie.
Yeah, we will ensure. She's trying to be as nice as possible. She's like, we will ensure that we do not have any other incidents like this that are from our side of things.
Of course. And I appreciate that.
Yes. She just kind of like slowly turns, cricking her neck towards homie. Oh, she's after Chavez like walks away, she'll just be like, "Homie, you kicked a wall. You kicked through their wall. What is wrong with you? You failed vertically walking up a wall at full sprint. What did you think was going to happen?"
Twice.
Yes, twice.
But it couldn't reach the nose, you see that?
Could you have not have chosen a tree randomly somewhere in the wilderness? Could you have not chosen anything else? Oh, but you had enough time, and it was 1 o'clock, and you still had enough time to walk through the wall. Nice. And that went so well, didn't it?
It was a very different process. In that one, you have to walk straight and pretend the wall isn't there.
Homie, no more walking up walls. No more destroying the property of the place that we are staying at, and the only place we currently have a residence in this town.
The game chose to kidnap me. Just remember that part.
Chavez didn't, though. He shouldn't be suffering because you want to break through windows and kick through walls.
I'm trying to achieve great things while being kidnapped. And we're all
Please don't achieve them by the expense of Chavez.
It would have been a whole different conversation if it was achieved. There would have been awards, people clapping, applauding. Actually,
You're right, but right now there's a hole in the wall and a broken through window that Chavez had to just fix. You are 0 for 2 on this, homie. You are not in a position to talk like this.
Well, between you and me, you're gonna have to probably send Mariana to the bathroom to just make sure there's no other hypothetical deaths.
What do you mean into the bathroom? What did you do?
Oh no.
What do you mean hypothetically?
Hypothetically, after I left that note at the top of the door, what they so couldn't get my grade, that she was jumping that high. I then showered.
Shower.
The meeting.
No. She's like...
But I made sure to not cause any alarm. But I did hurt myself. I slept it off.
Did you hurt the wall?
I when you kind of fail, you kind of don't care about anything else around. I don't know.
She's gonna just...
hypothetical. So, the good thing if there's nothing there, well,
She's just gonna sit up, go upstairs real quick, check the room, and go into the bathroom. Is there a dent in the wall?
There's a dent in the wall where, in the main area, but there's no dent in the wall in the bathroom.
Okay. She's gonna walk back down the stairs, sit back down, and say, "There's no dent in the bathroom." This time, as she, like, devilishly stares at fucking Homie.
so you walk there to be a next time, what you're saying.
Homie. No more wall jumping. No more breaking breaking private property of Chavez.
I wasn't trying to break the
I understand that, but please remember, Chavez is being very kind considering the situation.
You know, I wonder how much money he has if he was paid in cash. How many days do we have left?
That's a good point. I imagine it's probably something like 2 weeks or so. By the time we need to worry about it, I'm sure we should be able to pay our own way, hopefully. Then again, if we keep having incidents in the room, that might up the charge of things.
we're gonna still come to church, so take a lot.
Maybe don't mention what we're planning on doing in the middle of this lobby, even if there isn't that many people around.
It's a secret mission.
She just sighs. I should have never said any of this. Should have just waited till we got to the Altel District. I should have waited till we got to the ship, actually. Let's go to the old Pikesmith. Everyone fed? We're good. Let's go. She just sits up.
Alright. You all take off with empty bellies and, hypothetical holes. What was that? No, full bellies, I'm sorry. Full bellies and hypothetical holes, possibly, in one's pockets. You take off into the bright, sunshiny day, and you all will head to another part of the Titan District, to the old Pikesmith. And let me pull it up here. Alright. So, as you get closer to the Titan District and you pass by the path that's leading to the guild hall, there's a sign for the old Pikesmith. And it looks like there's it looks like it's very quaint, it's very cute. There's some weapons that are hanging, like, chained to the edifice outside of the door. And there's also some pikes that are mounted beside the sign or on the sign, crisscrossing each other. It looks like they're fishing pikes, so you assume that maybe the owner of the shop got inspiration from fishing, and perhaps they're just a blacksmith. So you will walk in, and as you come in, it's very hot, and there's a strong scent of metal in the air. So it's a mixture of things like copper and iron and steel. And there's a lot of banging, because there's a forge that's... You don't see it, but you can hear the person who's working at the forge banging on something. You don't see anybody behind the counter right now. It looks like there's a bell to ring for service.
I'll ring the bell.
Alright. You ring the bell loud and clear. It's a nice crystal sound. It's quite pleasing to your ear. As soon as you ring the bell, the banging stops. And you hear miscellaneous other clanking as the person who's working the forge is probably putting things back in for a certain amount of time or taking them out or quenching them. And, sorry. Out from the back and behind the counter walks a servalkin with a mask on. You can tell they're a servalkin by their fur and their hands and all that. And they're very tall, and they're a little bit on the round side, and you don't see it right now, but the way they're walking is a little bit funky. And they lift up the mask, and what you see is a slightly attractive face. And they will say, "Why, hello there, friends. Welcome to the Old Pikesmith. How can I assist you today?"
Hi, we're a team of adventurers, and Fari from the guild pointed us to this place, saying there might be some mining quests.
Oh, yes, of course. The proprietor of the establishment will look in their files and say, "I appreciate you coming all the way out here to assist. Well, I guess this place isn't that far from the guild hall. I appreciate you very much coming out, though. And I'm glad that Fari was able to let you know about my quest that I would like to provide." Which quest is it? Yes, okay. This servalkin man is going to pull out a file and say, "Here it is." And he's going to walk up to you at the counter and hand you a quest paper.
Okay.
And it will say that there's a Qual'd mining crew that has requested assistance. And this Qual'd mining crew is with the Lapsus Consortium. And they're trying to get some people recruited for a mining expedition. And they just need some extra hands, apparently.
Cool.
And the proprietor of the Old Pikesmith will say, Well, I appreciate you coming out. Is there anything else I can help you with? Do you need any new weapons? Maybe with some repairs? You look like you're adventurers."
Yes, we need, both of those things, actually. Some repairs.
Magellan will flip up the flintlock when she says that.
Ooh, that's a nasty bit of a break there. Good.
Oh, I'll just nudge homie. Show him your pick.
Partly broken. Topic.
Alright. The proprietor will hold out his hands, requesting that you provide him with the broken items. And he will say, "I think I can help you fix that."
Magellan will hand it over.
Alright.
How much we looking at? Is what Magellan will say.
Apologies as I cough. Oh fuck, I was on the right document to begin. Alright. Alright, he will say, I think it'll run you around 5 silver pieces each.
Shit.
That's not bad at all, actually. He kind of says, a lot cheaper from what it was in Gobi, I'll tell you that much. Penny pinchers there. He'll slide over 5 silver, you said?
Yeah, 5 silver each.
Yeah. I imagine it's because it also helps that they're not fully broken, they're just damaged.
Yeah. The man will say, I always pride myself on providing quality service for a cheap price. And, just so you know, where is... Oh, I passed it. My name is Lidus, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Is that L-Y or L-I?
L-I-U-S?
Yep.
Yep. That was Lidus.
I guess it's fine.
I was expecting it to be like 5 gold, but yeah, it's 5 silver. I'll definitely be taking that.
Yeah.
It's probably also, considering they're both tier 1 weapons, means they're probably going to be really cheap anyway.
Yeah, again, no upgrades, no materials that are special.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, Lidus. Do you happen to have any firearms? Oh, that cut out.
Yes I do, actually.
Okay.
I have three firearms that you can choose from. I have a blunderbuss, and he'll go and pass the counter, and he'll go up to the wall and point at a gun rack with a blunderbuss on it, and he'll say, a sidearm? He'll point to the sidearm, and then he'll say, and also a revolver. And he will point to the revolver.
Magellan, Starsha and Magellan are eyeing 2 things on there right now.
I was looking and am disappointed, though not surprised.
Magellan would probably just like tilt his head up, said, well, howdy, lady. But he's like looking at the revolver. And Starsha's just like, that right there, that's what I need. She's looking at the sidearm.
Okay.
The both just turn. How much? Is they ask in unison.
Lidus will say, for the revolver, it's gonna be 140 gold. And for the sidearm, it's gonna be 88.
Starsha's like, 88. We can definitely do that with this mission. And then she's like, and then Magellan kind of says, actually, with the money I got tucked away, this should work. I can probably get it after this job. Said, the both again in unison, hold 'em. Is what they just say. Why?
Yeah, martial artists don't have a lot of money. I'm just good at saving, I guess.
Ooh, Starsha's gonna ask, do you happen to have 2 sidearms? No, it's not 200 gold, it's 196 gold.
He would respond with, I actually plan on finishing one today, so I would have 2 that you could purchase.
Oh yes. Starsha there's just like this look on her face, this smile. Very gleeful. Yes, I'd actually like to get both of them. I might not be able to get both immediately, but definitely both. If that would be alright.
Yes.
Like in the background, he's just like having an existential crisis.
Wait, you have 11? No, you should have got paid at least. We got paid once, once last session.
What did you spend your money on, homie?
He hasn't spent a dime, I don't think.
Yeah. I actually have almost enough to get the first pistol, but like...
Oh, that was, 60 silver, but we got paid, what was the paycheck before that?
The paycheck for the, most recent quest was
Yeah, we got paid. You were probably.
440.
Oh, yeah, I just saw it too. Yeah, we got paid 88 gold each, is what I wrote down.
And we got we're gonna get 97 gold from selling the stuff each. 97 gold, 5 silver, and 2 silver pieces, or 2 copper pieces for selling those parts. I could get. Oh my god, I could almost get both, but that's all right. I can get one soon.
He will say, Midas will say, I would gladly hold them for you. But if I'm going to do that, I would like to request a small deposit first, just to make sure that everything's held for you.
Oh, I was looking at the moment. I was like, all right, how much can I put down on this? I need to look at Magellan real quick because Magellan's getting that revolver. He knows it. Okay. So I'm gonna put 40 down right now for the sidearm.
Cool.
So I got 5 left.
88.
88. What was that for?
That was for the quest, the last quest we did.
Oh, I actually never added that 88. I can pay for the sidearm. So now, okay, I'm gonna check. You said 160 for Magellan?
140.
Okay, there it is. I was trying to find his inventory manager. Oh, Magellan can get this. He's just gonna buy it right now.
Okay. So you will go ahead and purchase one sidearm and put down the big down payment for the next one, Starsha, and then
Yes.
Magellan will purchase the revolver.
So many sandwiches.
Lytus will take your payments and say, "Thank you so much for your business, and here's your weapons." And he'll provide
homie, you should get a
those.
spear. Spear.
Unfortunately, I don't sell sandwiches, but I do sell spears.
I actually thought you were gonna say don't sell spears for a minute. It was gonna be very funny, but
I sell a long spear.
That's what you need, homie. Get the
That's what you
long
need.
spear.
It's gonna cost
Alright,
you
I'm gonna
6
grab-
Why
gold.
do I feel like I'm gonna be homie's babysitter? I don't really want that to be the case.
please be,
But
please, for the love of God, somebody needs to be his babysitter.
if it would be me, that relationship's gonna. I don't know. That's risky waters for me.
That is very risky waters. Look at him over there, murmuring about sandwiches. Rileyana, he's a lost soul.
We'll get you a sandwich, homie. Just you need a weapon. You don't really need a weapon, but you should probably have a weapon. You can
It's
fight
just
underwater.
a basic long spear.
It's two-handed and aquatic. I
I'll
think.
provide you with the description.
That's a very loud silence there, homie. You good?
Huh?
No, I was saying to homie, I said that's a very loud silence there, homie. You good?
And I rent this spear for a game.
You want to rent this spear?
You know, take it for a test drive, you know?
And then sell it back.
Unfortunately, I will not allow you to rent any spears. You must buy it outright.
How much is the spear?
This,
Don't
This-
know me. Sarsha's asking, how much is the spear?
the spear
Very
is 6
indignantly.
gold.
She's going to buy the spear.
Give me the 6 gold.
And water breathers of some kind.
The only place that I could possibly think of is maybe the guild, or some place that frequents people on the coast or traveling the river. So try either the
Okay.
guild hall or the docks.
Maybe the docks.
Starsha's. What'd you say?
Maybe the docks.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking. She's like, if we don't want to really say anything, we should probably go for a place. So yeah, I should just not. We'll probably check the docks. Thank you.
Of course.
She'll go back to doing what she was doing.
Are we close to the guild at all?
Yes. You're very close to the
we're
guild.
down the
feel
street,
like
right?
I told Fari
Yep.
that we'd see her in the morning, and we're not going to be seeing her in the morning. I just want to tell her that we're gonna do our own thing, so that it wasn't a lie that I was saying we were coming back in the morning.
Maybe she's so busy she wouldn't notice.
I mean, that's always a possibility, but you can't guarantee that. So while everyone's buying stuff, I'm gonna stop in for like a couple minutes. Like, hey, we're not doing a quest, but we'll be back after we.
Well, I mean, technically we are, aren't we? We're doing the quest she told you about.
Well, we're not. I mean, yeah, we got the quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I mean, we'll be doing it. We just not doing it immediately. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, yeah, I guess we don't really have to check in.
Well, I'm not saying you don't need to check in. I'm just saying that, like, if you check in, you don't have to say, like, you could say we are taking the quest that you told me about. Like, that would be correct.
Yeah, that
wouldn't
be
like a
lie.
lie. Yeah.
Then, yeah. I'll just let everyone know I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yep. I assume these are just basic sidearm revolver. These aren't, like, Lapsus made or anything. They're just the basic core weapons, right?
That's correct.
Coolio. So I know the ammo capacity and stuff. I might have to get me some... Ooh, do I want to get... I did... Eli, I think I might do what you were talking about. I might choose a rifle soon.
Already?
Well, like, it would just fit. I get a... Because then I have a long arm and then I have short arms.
Okay.
Not gonna get it here. I'm just saying, like, in the future, I know, like, I probably will be getting a light. I don't know. Do I want to get a launcher? I kind of want to get a launcher, though.
Are you strong enough to hold a launcher around?
That is a very good point. I don't know. I might have to physically train myself for that. Or get a launcher that I don't have to worry about the weight of. I have to get a mithril or arrow, what is it? Sky amber, is that the mineral I'm thinking of? The sky amber?
I don't know. I only know it's
sky gloss amber, that's what it's called. Yeah, I gotta get that. Because then it makes it, like, weigh nothing. Anyway, I'm good.
Okay.
I have fixed everything.
Lightus will say, I appreciate you coming out and making some purchases, and I look forward to seeing you again. Miss, what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't take it down for your reservation.
Oh, she's talking to me. Alright, he's talking to me. God. I cannot remember the name I gave. I wrote, one sec, I might have wrote it down. Give me one moment. I would say, I'm trying to find the name just to make sure I would say it right. If I didn't write it down, I'll just have to do it from memory. Oh, that was it. Aisha, that was it.
Alright. Aisha it is. I'll go ahead and write that down for your reservation, but I will remember your face, and I'll make sure you get your sidearm. Well, I appreciate your patronage, and I hope to see you again soon. Or I'll see you all soon. So thank you so much for visiting the old Pikesmith, and I hope you have a lovely day today.
Give him a nod. Should just click the slide back and make sure everything's clear. Slide in some ammo and then just put it in her back.
Alright.
Feels just like home.
Indeed.
Damn customs not letting me take my loaded sidearm on.
Alright. So you all have made a successful shopping trip to the old pike smith, while
Yep.
also getting a quest. And now you're gonna go ahead and head to the Altel District to get some, sell some monster parts.
Yep.
Would you like to visit the totem on the way?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would like to stop by the totem, and then I would like to basically... I'll tell as we're kind of walking, I'm like, everyone, one sec, I want to stop here for a moment. And I'll look over, and I'll look at Marliana, Homie... Yeah, look at Marliana and Homie and say, come over here, I want you to see something, or hear something. And she's gonna walk towards she's gonna motion for everyone to follow her towards this, like, a couple corners away, and then towards this large totem in this kind of field.
I want you to roll me a d4, please. Somebody roll me a d4.
Who's rolling? Alright, we blame Homie if something goes bad. Alright, it's a 2.
A 2? Okay. Alright, so it looks like we have a group of beastkin, mostly lizardkin, who are enjoying a picnic. And talking casually, and they're just around the totem having a great time.
Alright.
Yep, that's all that's happening. So.
Yep. I'll wave. Alright, do we recognize any faces there, or?
Not right now. I think
Okay.
the groups that you visited yesterday were mostly ones that visited in the evening, and since this is your first time visiting in the morning, you probably see some different faces.
Alright, I'll just take a seat down and take a good deep breath and just motion for the others to sit and then listen.
Alright.
She's just kind of like eyebrow raises. Homie, just listen. Oh, let your ears open and listen.
Alright. Homie, I need to ask you a question. What exactly is your lineage? Besides, what kind of sandwiches made you? Are you...
What is your type?
Yes.
Are you what are you? What race are you? Then he's Sylvan.
Okay. So... Alright. So I remember you said Sylvan is technically not a beastkin? Sure.
Technically not a beastkin. They're on the beast side of things, though.
Okay. So... Marliana, you are part beastkin, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Starsha and Marliana, you're gonna hear the melody. There's a nice whistling song happening around the totem. Homie, you don't seem to hear anything.
Oh. Interesting.
Does anyone else hear music?
She'll kind of look over to Marliana. You hear it?
I do.
Wait, what about Gathor?
Gathor appears unaffected. She just kind of shakes her head and says, I don't hear anything.
Homie, that's not nice.
She holds up her hand, and her hand kind of transforms into a scaly, dragon-like hand with really long claws. And she kind of holds it out to you. Just kind of, showing it off. Her claws are nice and long and black, and she'll just kind of wave them around and say, I think my claws look delicious today. What do you think, homie? Do you think they look nice?
I can't hear anything either.
She'll change her hand back to normal and she'll say, that's exactly what I thought.
Star's just gonna lean back and just relax. Things are going good today. She's got a gun. She's
That was it.
They're about
She's
to
got a
go
gun.
on
She was just real happy that she's got a piece on her now.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's a safety thing, all right?
I understand. As someone who also wants a gun, I understand.
Yeah. This is just like this is more of home for her, all right? She was taught how to use sidearms and small arm like pistols.
Yeah, no.
So-
That thing would break in my hand, so.
Receive a +2 to sanity and instinctual checks today for the next 8 hours.
Nice. Starsha gonna sit up.
Well, you said
That
instinct.
was a
Wait,
good
what was
little
it?
rest.
Sanity
Sanity and instinctual
checks.
Cool.
for 8 hours. All right, let's head to the Altel District.
Well, anyone know what's up with this totem?
Actually, she kind of looks over. Yeah, it's a Alto Laltel relic, so to speak. It was left here from the previous occupants, we'll say. This was a long time ago, though. She kind of motions to the totem. From what I understand, back during the war, around 200 or so years ago.
I wonder if there's more, and if they have different effects.
Yeah, that's a good point. This one, hopefully more of them look like they've been better kept and also don't have a... there's a... She kind of like... She looks over at Homie and she's like, he's gonna lose his mind. There is a little bit of a myth about this thing. Let's walk while we talk about it. And she'll motion for everyone to follow her as they walk towards the out of the city, out of the Creed district, and towards Altel. There's a a little myth that's ran around. I'm not sure how long. It seems the myth's been persisting ever since the totem was, erected, so to speak. I assume that it might have been some old soothsayer tale type thing about a curse that some people, when they're near it, are affected by, apparently. Well, you're a Sylvan. I thought it would be fine. I can assure you, if you were cursed, you would feel something.
And whatever we're feeling feels nice, not like a curse.
Since we can visibly feel something, I'd say that you would probably feel something if it was going in the Atmos. Well, that's part of the reason why I wanted to come here. I wanted to see who was affected by it and who wasn't. I figured that nobody here would be negatively affected by it, but positively I wasn't quite sure yet.
One thing for me.
I knew that none of you would be harmed by it. At least that much. That was the only reason. The only reason I took everybody else here. But it is strange that you weren't affected, but I was. Maybe something to do with being a mixed breed?
I don't know. All I know is next time something bad happens to me, I'm gonna blame that totem on you. Stub my toe.
Sure.
Totem with you. I tripped over my
Well,
leg,
I...
totem with you.
Homie, the curse doesn't work like that. At least, I think. Listen, what I mean is, the curse only seems to affect... She kind of look left and right. Elven and maybe mortal people? I'm not sure.
Now, that's just a racist totem at that point.
Well, considering when it was made, it would make sense why the curse would affect those two groups.
Homie, listen. Maybe if it's cursed and you're cursed, maybe you can climb walls now.
Gazor, don't encourage that, please.
No, you're just playing. Playing with my lives. Got the curse and all this. Grandma warned me about
Sorry.
Grandma
Starsha also
warned
did try
me.
to keep that, like, discreet, but did anyone really hear, like, her say that?
No, nobody heard it.
Okay.
You're walking and talking at the same time.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been like, hey, this is a secret, but she would have, like, lowered her voice a bit to say that last part. Like,
Yeah.
she's not trying to draw attention. Even if they're in the Creed district, she's not trying to draw, like, too much attention about it.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm sure we'll find out, we'll see more about the totem soon. Seems like that's a developing situation in the town. Not the only one, either. Kind of thinks to herself a little bit. She'll say a little bit more when they're on the outside of the walls.
You will walk past the totem, and as you're walking, nothing really new today. Nobody's really, like, paying too much attention. You still see some of the wayward looks, but actually, you think it might be less worse than normal. It's a little bit hard to tell, but, you know, it is what it is. Maybe you just encountered fewer people on the way towards the wall. You get to the wall, and of course, it's easy to pass through. There's, like, a little portal. And there's guards there, and, you know, they're like, okay, whatever, like, get out. And, you'll go pass through the fields. And as you're passing through the fields, you can discuss whatever you like.
I guess as you're walking. So about that totem from earlier. I didn't want to say it within the city limits, but it's a bit more than just a totem. It seems like there's some things at play going on in the town. From a social sense. Kind of thinks for a minute. I don't have the full details yet, but it sounds like there's... Well, remember how I mentioned 200 years ago there was a little, maybe more than a little, a war that happened? The Consortium Wars? Well, it seems like a lot of that bad blood has been, as of late, dredging back up based on what people, at least some people have told me. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the dirty looks that some in our party are receiving, or in general a lot of the Beastkin and other people around us are dealing with, have to do with that. I don't know the full details though. I imagine I wouldn't be surprised if it relates to Lapsus getting its ass kicked in the last war. But I was never, well, I was in Gara when things happened. I was never really privy to what Lapsus really felt. Maybe Maliana, you would know more?
I probably just have to make a check, because Marliana and knowing the outside world, they don't always go hand in hand, outside of the rare books she would get.
Yeah.
Alright.
Would I roll a local for that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a local reading.
Alright. I don't expect that to be all that, but let's see. Yeah, no. This is about...
You'll nat 20, watch.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
something.
12.
Yeah.
What were you trying to remember again?
Just the racial climate in the recent years, I guess?
So in the recent
I guess in
years...
reference to, like, the war, the last war
Yeah.
happening.
Mhm.
The Great War.
So in recent years, the racial climate is very tense, especially in this town. Um, you would recall that the Altel District is segregated from the main part of Qual'd, specifically because the majority of the people that live there are Beastkin and Nevilkin heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And that it hasn't really slowed down, and there's still a lot of contention in the air around, like, giving them, like, better financial things, like, for spreading wealth and all that, and it's just like, nobody really knows what they're doing for it, and everybody's pretty much content within the main part of Qual'd to let things continue as they are.
So
Because they don't really see a need to lift any of the people who are in poverty up.
Yeah. See, I guess I'd just say we've seen some of the signs, but I imagine it's like this in other places, not just Qual'd.
Starsha would kind of like hand to her chin as they're walking, thinking, from what my studies showed me when I was reading about the Alto Laltel, there seemed to be a recurring theme in Lapsus's history. Though we are entering a new era of guild union and all that, I wonder how much of this is changing. Chavez seems to be quite, how would I put it? Well, from what the stories and things I've read about, well, I'm not sure Chavez is really fully mortal, but things like that. It seems, I don't know. The Great War did a lot of things, changed a lot of people. Maybe there's, I don't know. Nevertheless, if this relates to that whole problem that we need to be figuring out, then we should at least keep our eyes and ears to it. For the time being, I don't think anything's going to get... This famous last words are here, by the way. I don't think anything's going to get too worse at the moment. Yeah, it's the famous last words are there. So for the time being, let's keep our misgivings and such about certain things to a minimum. Obviously, if there's anything more overt in front of you, I would not say I could assist you if you wanted to do something about that. But until we get a little bit more around town, and we're in a bit more of a comfortable position, I think it's best that we keep our heads, relatively speaking, down. After all, it sounds like some of us don't really want to be seen by the broader press. She kind of looks around the group as she says that. We all have our reasons, I'm sure. Well, this should be one way we can help. This person at the fluffy bar, the proprietor, Grayfang, they seem to be someone who works with the Alto Laltel, I think more directly as well. If there's anyone that has more information about things happening around town, it's probably them. Hopefully they can tell us more about the events we experienced yesterday on that ship as well. That might be one of the reasons why they want us to go out there and salvage that vessel. Perhaps they're looking for information about this. Because as they're kind of nearing the Altel District, she'll just say, I have a feeling that somebody either in this town or has invested interest in things in this town is fixing for some type of paradigm shift in it. Monsters just don't show up and pointedly attack random vessels like that and then leave the other one. Nor do we have kind of like taps the bag where we have the abomination part. Nor do these things just come from thin air. These were made, so someone planned on these things attacking. And that's all she'll say, unless someone wants to say anything else. Alright, I guess we'll just go to the Altel District.
Yeah.
You will go ahead and head to the Alto District, and for Marliana and Homie, as you're walking through the fields, you'll see people with dilapidated equipment tending their farms. They seem to be pretty used to it, though. So, you know, it is what it is. As you're walking through the Altel District, there's certainly a lot less activity here in the day than there was at night. Starsha. And here in the day, you'll see people running around, probably like children and women more out and about right now. It looks like they may be gathering supplies, such as like foodstuffs and water. But you don't really see a whole lot of like men, except the ones that are sitting on the sidewalks, just kind of either sleeping, begging for coin, or otherwise probably in the back alleys, just kind of staring at people nefariously.
Oh, this place is absolutely fucked looking in the day.
Yep.
I mean, it was kind of fucked looking at night too, but at least it looked livelier.
It is worse than the rumors say.
Yeah, and because the heat is coming up now, you start to smell all the scents of this part of the district. Yeah, baby. It's a nice aroma of bathroom smell, you think. It's faint, but it's there. And you think that if you go into specific parts of the city, you would get a little stronger, because as you're walking, like, some alleys smell a lot more of it than others. But if you stay on the main road, it's just kind of in the air, but it's not really, like, strong. But as soon as you pass by some of the well-lit alleys, you'll start to smell a little bit more. Meemaw said that you smell piss in the streets.
You know, there is a... there's a thing I didn't ask, actually, that I'm curious... that Starsha, I guess, would be curious about now. Considering the nature of their quest. What is the guard detail looking like in this area?
Oh, it's absolutely non-existent.
Okay, so there's, like, no guards around,
Nope.
really.
A lawless land.
I guess I was like, this is either one of those places that has, like, barely any guards, or any of the guards they do have, or it's, like, over-policed to hell and back.
There's no in between.
There are no guards to speak of.
Well. Yep. But I have a feeling that's gonna change at some point.
Listen, if there's anything Yeah.
This is the place that, like, the cyberpunk trauma center, like, guys show up to, and, like, they show up with a fucking SWAT team just randomly. Yeah. Oh, that's good. It means that we don't have to be as discreet here.
Now, the one thing I will say is that, like I said, he's seeing a lot more women and children out during the day. And it looks like they're able to go about their business without being harassed. So...
That's good.
Even though there isn't a presence of, like, guards or anything, obviously there's still a sense of order. So...
Yeah, like, Yeah, I get you. There's like there's some watchful eyes probably from not most of from like out of view for most of us.
Yes. Yep.
Like enough that people feel like it's even in an area like this safe enough to walk around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I imagine this is probably like a place that has a lot of good community in general. Like people probably know each other more personally here.
Yep.
So
So yeah, you don't necessarily feel like unsafe or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just like, you know, it doesn't look great, it doesn't smell great, but you know, you're able to walk around. So you will pass by and pass through the main roads, and there's not a whole lot of shops or anything like that.
Yeah.
The shops that you do see do advertise as open, but they keep the doors closed. And it looks like they don't really advertise goods in the window.
They're probably boarded up.
Yeah. You know, people just, hey, that looks cool. Smashes window, grabs, walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And soon you will come upon, after a little bit of searching, what is advertised as the Monster Wall Emporium. There's a huge sign, and actually, what also serves as part of the sign is a beast head. Particularly, it's of a giant boar.
Neat.
It adorns the outside of the building very menacingly, but also majestically. You can only imagine how the fur smells when it.
We're going into the, we're going to, Grayfang, right?
Are you?
Yep.
I thought you were going to the docks.
Isn't that where we have to, because the docks is back in the city, or back in the town.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you
So
were going?
I imagine I thought we were going to get to Grayfang to tell them, hey, because you have Grayfang has the ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have to go to them to get the ship. Alright,
Alright, so you're gonna go back to the Fluffy Bar. And
yes, the fluffy bar.
this time the Fluffy Bar is not as active as it was before. It's mostly people just kind of relaxing and drinking. It's the morning, so, you know, morning drinkers and day drinkers out and about. But it's also people
Alright.
eating breakfast and having a nice atmosphere, so it seems pretty relaxed. There's not a whole lot of yelling, and nobody seems to be causing any trouble. And Grayfang is actually sitting off in a corner, just reading a newspaper. You would spot him,
Alright.
and you'd be able to walk up to him.
I will approach.
He's gonna look up and put down his newspaper and say, "Ah, yes, you're back. What can I assist you with?"
That I'll kind of look to the left or right, and then just nod at her. We're ready for that job.
Oh, yes, of course. You may find that I've arranged for a ship for you over at the docks.
All right.
You can talk to...
Oh, also,
Go ahead.
not all of us can breathe underwater. Would you happen to have any... Well, I guess if you don't, the docks might have some air filters that we could use.
I unfortunately do not, but like you said, you would most likely be able to find them at the docks.
Alright.
While you're at the docks, please look for someone named... I want to choose not a stupid name, but the first name that came to my brain was Christopher, so...
Why is that a stupid name? No.
We're...
You know it, Christopher.
One of my favorite voice actors is named Chris, so we're gonna go with Christopher.
Christopher.
Grayfang's gonna say, "Please look for Christopher while you're searching
Alright.
for a ship. You will have one ready for you."
Gotcha. Oh, kind of nod. Hear anything else about that? Faith of the Wheel vessel incident yesterday?
He's gonna kind of look at you and seem a little bit confused at first.
Hmm.
He's gonna say, "Do you mean Church of Avernus or?"
No, no. Yesterday I mentioned there was a incident that we were involved in. We were helping a ship on a guild urgent quest, remember?
Ah, yes. I had forgotten that you'd mentioned the Faith of the Wheel was were the ones affected by that. My apologies.
So I'm assuming based on that you haven't heard anything new from it.
I have not, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Have you heard anything at all about it?
He kind of looks down, thinking, and then looks back up and says, "Actually, no. They've been rather tight-lipped with the information."
I thought so. That was what I was trying to say. I'd advise. You mentioned earlier, last night, about things being a bit more spicy in this area than we had first perceived. Totem and other issues, kind of motions around. My best bet would be, or I guess advice would be to look into that situation maybe. I have a feeling that and some other things around it might relate to the town's recent issues.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm well aware of that. But if you are looking for more information about the totem, I would be able to offer you some.
I guess since they're they're gonna meet us here anyway. We're not gonna leave. We might as well just stay and I'll talk to her or him. Sorry, sorry.
Okay.
And look over. So what? I guess is there an open seat?
Yeah, he's sitting at an empty table right now. It's pretty.
I'll motion if I can sit.
Yeah. He will nod and motion for you to
Alright.
pull out a chair. And Magellan as well.
I'll sit. Yep, Magellan, I'll take a squat. Sit down. Starsha will sit down as well. So, the totem, right? You mentioned it.
Yes. The totem is actually a relic of, or rather a holdover of sorts, from the wars with the Alto Laltel.
You mentioned something about that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to get a super clear answer last night. You did mention that there's been issues around that totem for the last 200 or so since, the Consortium Wars. Has anything recently changed with that totem? I mean, more than just, there's a myth about a curse. Actual tangible effects of something like that.
Nothing regarding the effects have changed. Those effects have remained the same, the entirety of its existence.
What type of effects does this curse have? I've heard about it now a couple times, but I've never actually seen anyone affected by it, nor heard what happens if one is. It's starting to sound like it's not actually real and just a myth that, no offense, the Alto Laltel would make up to keep the totem at bay. Or to not bay, keep the totem from being removed.
I can assure you that the effects of the totem are quite real, and that the totem is simply unable to be removed because of its miraculous ability to prevent itself from being removed, which is also part of the curse it's supposedly placed upon it.
So part of the curse is that it can't be removed. At least not easily, it sounds like.
It has been attempted many times, and every single attempt has failed. As for the effects...
What happens when people try to remove it?
when people attempt to remove it, there's rumors that they supposedly fall to misfortune. And,
Bad luck.
yes. And those, particularly of human and elven lineage, tend to avoid the totem because they claim the longer they stay around it, the worse they feel, and perhaps they start to lose a little bit of themselves in the process. Of course, the opposite is true for those of Beastkin lineage who seem to benefit from it.
I had a question about that. Is there any... Does it affect mixed breeds as well?
If they are of Beastkin lineage, then yes, it would affect them.
What about Sylvan?
It's possible. Although I don't really believe we've had many Sylvan visitors. So, I'm actually not quite sure.
Then what she kind of thinks. It affected me, or at least it seems to. I'm part Sylvan. But it didn't affect a compatriot of mine who's full Sylvan. That's why I was curious.
That is rather confusing and troubling. Perhaps there's something in your lineage you're not quite aware of.
It wouldn't be the first thing. Well, either way, if the totem can't really be removed due to this curse, is there any reason for there to be any uproar about it? I mean, it sounds like this thing really can't be removed outside of some pretty powerful magic.
There's an uproar, mostly, well, two reasons, I believe. One of them being that it's in a rather... It's still in Qual'd proper. Because of that, the citizens of Qual'd, outside of the Altel District, find it to be troubling. And the other being that political tensions have been rather high lately. The more people fuss, of course, the more of an issue they're going to think it is.
I see. Political issues as of late. Sorry I didn't mention a lot of this. I guess it makes sense that the guild wouldn't want to raise tensions as well. They'd probably rather them simmer.
I don't believe
Sorry
it's
doesn't
any...
seem like...
sorry?
Go ahead.
I don't believe it's any fault of the guild arm for failing to mention that. I believe it's probably within their job description to simply provide needed information for guild teams to enact.
And we weren't on need to know yet. I see. Where's the tension coming from? Obviously, there's got to be a source.
Well, I would say mostly from the guard and probably from the mayor as well. The guard seems to have a lot more opinions lately. And the mayor is seeming to also have more of a voice in recent days.
Who's the head of the guard detail? Sorry, I should say in this town.
Grayfang is going to say... The head of the guard is someone known as Yabon. He's the captain.
Yabon. Have we heard that name yet?
You have not.
I thought so. Like, I don't think we've heard it yet.
Yep.
So, Yabon... What was the last name, sorry? Yabon what?
Haid.
Yabon Haid, got it. Yabon. So, this Yabon... You say they had the guard then. What has their input on this been?
That's something I'm having a rather hard time putting a finger on.
They rather quiet?
Well, most of what he says rings true for many. I believe Eobon is one of those who believes justice is always right. Although everybody's version of justice is different. And perhaps he thinks that justice means better for those of Qual'd Town proper, or those from all districts of Qual'd. It's rather hard, like I said, to put a pin on.
That seems like a pretty big jump between. Why do you get the feeling that he's, I guess, as you say, it sounds sympathetic to all districts of Qual'd, and I assume you mean that including Altel in that case.
Excuse me as I read.
Fair enough.
That's something that's actually more subjective, I believe, than actual fact. As Eobon strives to uphold justice, as I said, those who hear the word justice see it meaning different things. So, as he may attempt to remain rather neutral, or perhaps provide his opinion, others may hear it and think that he means something else.
I want to mood something. I want to mood him right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
15 plus, I think it's like a 16.
I'm just gonna roll for fun. Okay. So, you don't sense that Grayfang
I don't think
is...
they're lying.
Go ahead.
I think there's something they're not. It feels like, okay. Then they keep going back and forth between like if it's factual or not. I feel like there's something personal they're not telling me.
You get the feeling that it's halfway personal, but also like not. It's really weird.
I think the only way I could say Magellan, I guess, would ask, excuse me, you know this guy? I mean, like, you know him well, I'm asking.
Actually, I don't.
Never, you guys looked over. The big old sheriff ain't come down to the shanty town to ask for a pint in a while or something?
We don't have the guard visit in the Altel District ever. The Altel District is actually taken care of by the local people. We have a sense of order that's established here by the parties that govern it.
I see. Reminds me of Gobi, honestly. You should go there sometime. Actually, don't. Fuck that place. Anyway.
Grayfang would chuckle.
Alex, anyway. So is this guy someone that you would like to have on your side, or is this something of a, I mean, personal thing? I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Well,
Starsha kind of, she's just listening in. Starsha's just kind of keep it quiet.
Grayfang would say, while I do, if this is true, believe that justice means justice for all, truly, I think that Eobon would be an honorable man. However, I've heard that his history relates to being trained by the Consortium, specifically. And I'm...
Starsha kind of nods. I mean, that would make sense. He's the god captain, right? I feel like there's something else you're not telling me with that.
Because I don't know Eobon personally, and because I've never actually seen the guard come here, I want to feel like I can trust him. But I don't know enough to be able to do so. Particularly because, well, I don't know how strongly he aligns with the Consortium. And
I see.
I know you know
No, but
my
anything
alignment.
like the Consortium in my home. She's like, sorry. Starsha's just kind of muttering something. She's listening, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So Grayfang will elaborate and say, the Consortium has done some things in the past, especially with the war. And a lot of their ideals don't necessarily match up with justice for all. I'm sure you know.
So I've heard from my residents, though in the water, but still a resident of this place. So I've heard.
Yes. So because I know, the rumors say that he is fair. But given all of the sources that we can possibly obtain that information from, I'm not quite sure that it's actually unbiased.
Starsha kind of nods. So what you're saying is, you don't know if he's with the you know he's with the Consortium, but you don't know how much of the Consortium is in him, or if he's of himself.
Correct. I would really like to
Great.
know, but right now,
Do you have any ways of finding that out?
in a good, surely unbiased way, no. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way beyond direct confrontation. And perhaps that's where I might be able to ask your help. If you ever meet him, maybe you can inquire.
Magellan kind of thinks, I think we can arrange something. Starsha kind of says, it might be a good point. I want to know more about this mayor individual as well. It sounds like it's one of these two that are the main, we'll say, source of tension here, at least causes of it. We can figure out what their MO is. Obviously, she kind of looks, I'm not saying that Eobon is that person, but again, we don't know yet. That'll help dictate things.
I agree. As I said, I would like for the captain of the guard, especially, who holds great sway in Qual'd, to be partial towards every citizen.
She just nods. So he's liked around here. Loved, you could say. Maybe not the Altel, but in the main area of the town.
Yes.
Voice of the people, that would be very helpful to have on your side. Gianna says, I wasn't exactly wanting to get involved in too many big things, but it does seem like this is partially the reason we were brought here. Alright, we'll see what we can do about Eobon. Maybe get a bit more of a MO on what he thinks.
I would appreciate that. You will see another lizardkin dressed in a what looks to be like a bartender or waiter's outfit, waitress's outfit, with an apron, and she walks up to the table, and you can tell it's a female lizardkin, and she will say, "Father, you need anything this morning? I think I've got all the inventory done." Grayfang will look up and say,
Oh, is that Krim?
"Yep, it is."
Okay. From yesterday? Yeah.
Yep. And Krim will look to you and say, "Ah, yes, hello. It's good to see you again. I'm sorry that I didn't get to talk to you much yesterday because, what's his name? Fuck.
Jason?
Jason, yes. Jason took up all of my normal talking time. I can assure you I'm much more talkative than you would anticipate."
You don't say. Well, I guess we technically had exchanged pleasantries yesterday, but I guess do you remember us?
Of course. Yes. And she will give you an honest smile, and her eyes are very blue. She has the same color grayscales as her father.
Makes kind of nods.
And her tail is quite long as well. Her hair is long and braided, and the color of red. So her hair does tend to draw a lot of attention whenever she walks around.
It's striking.
Yep. And there's a tiny little scar on her lower left cheek, you can see. She turns back to her father and says, "So is there anything else you need?" And Grayfang will respond, "No, I believe that will be all for today. Thank you, Krim." And she'll nod back to him and say, "Trust to you and Magellan, Starsha." She'll say, "Well, I look forward to seeing you again, and I hope that you can help us out with anything that we may need, and we'll be here to help you."
Good nods. Similar.
And she will go back behind the counter and just continue cleaning glasses and serving people their drinks when they come out. Grayfang will look back to you and say, "Sorry about that."
It's fine. What inventory are you moving?
We just take inventory every day of the food we have and the amount of drinks that we have. Just to make sure that everything's taken into account and nothing's been stolen.
Very studious of you.
Thank you. Although I would think it's normal for any shopkeep to do so. Any good one is.
I've seen some that are a bit lackadaisical there. She's thinking about her father in the fucking gear shop.
Yeah. Grayfang will look back to his daughter and say, "Oh." And he'll kind of lean his hand, or he'll lean his chin on his hand, and he'll say, "I'm not ready for her to leave." It's kind of a murmur.
He looks over. Magellan will probably ask, "Leave? Weren't you expecting? Is she flying the coop already?"
Well, she is that age, or coming close to it.
I'll have to have adventures of her own, I see.
You can see his eyes just kind of... There's a somberness there. A sadness. But
she going alone?
Yes. Unfortunately, I must stay here. Just in case she needs anything.
Keep the fort safe. I know. I don't know. It's nice to have folks that you can rely on at least.
Yes. I hope to be her one solid rock in her life.
And John kind of hearing that, he was thinking about asking a question, but when he hears that, he kind of like he just nods and doesn't say anything. Starsha also kind of solemnly nods, knowing her personal things at the moment.
Yep.
I guess she'd probably just mumble like, "I can understand that." Family is important. I think she just murmured that.
Yep.
It's important.
Yep.
Murmuring it.
Grayfang will just kind of put his hand on the table and say, well, I think that's all we need to discuss today, unless there's anything else.
Magellan kind of sits up. No, nothing that I can think of. You, Starsha? She kind of like pops up. No. I think that's it. We'll report back when the job's done.
Very well. Remember to look for Christopher at the docks.
Right, Christopher. So, don't worry, we got it. And they'll start to walk out and wait for, I guess, the others at Grayfang's the Fluffy Bar when they get there.
Yep. So Marliana and Homie, you will walk up to the Fluffy Bar. Even if the instructions were vague about whether to meet at the Fluffy Bar or the dock, you would still pass the Fluffy Bar and see Starsha and Magellan waiting outside. So you'd still meet up with them at the Fluffy Bar.